Hello everybody, good afternoon and good evening to you all, and welcome to the stream. We have about 15 minutes until they start broadcasting the Warcraft 30 Direct. So we're gonna hang out in-game for a little bit. I'm just gonna kill some trogs, and we can eagerly await whatever news we're about to find out today.
Off with you!
I appreciate you guys all being here, and I hope you are all doing well. I was trying to break down, like, what I thought we might hear about into, like, categories, from most likely to sort of likely to least likely. I think, like, the most likely stuff, the stuff we know that's gonna happen, is gonna be Mist of Pandaria Classic and SOD news. A little bit less likely, maybe we get the hardcore fresh start everybody has been talking about. What's really unlikely? What's, like, super unlikely? Pie in the sky. Progression servers. Them announcing, like, some kind of classic progression server. I think that's, like, very unlikely pie in the sky type stuff. What do you guys think? What do you think? Is there anything that you guys think we're gonna hear about that is, you know, something that we haven't talked about, something that we haven't gone over? Is there anything, like, way out there that you guys think we might hear about today? Like, what do you guys think? Are we going to hear anything about Classic Era? Or is it all going to be MOP and SOD and retail? A Diablo Immortal DLC for $99.99. Fair, fair. You know, they called this the Warcraft Direct. And I wonder if that means that they're not going to talk about their other IPs. And if they're not going to talk about their other IPs, like, that's not exactly like a BlizzCon would be. But yeah, I guess I didn't even think that they would use the Warcraft Direct to talk about Diablo or Overwatch. So I'm kind of hoping we don't have to hear about any of the other games. I think they're only planning to broadcast this for like an hour. If it's only an hour long, I want everything that we hear to be about Warcraft. Like, in some way. McLovin, thank you so much, man, for the $20 super chat. That's incredibly generous of you, and I really appreciate it. Hoping for good news today, but knowing Blizz, ... LOL. That's exactly how I feel. And I was trying to think last night, I was trying to be optimistic and hopeful, and I was like, well, what am I hoping for exactly? Like, what am I hoping for within the realm of possibility? Within the realm of possibility, I guess I'm just hoping for some way to play TBC again. I guess that's really, like, the one thing I'm hoping for that I feel like is within the realms of possibility. I'm hoping for a way to play TBC again. For longer than a year this time, preferably for longer than 11 months this time. A movie or series? I think they've already, like, canned most of the series they had in works. They had a couple of series in works with Netflix, and then Blizzard and Netflix had a big falling out. So all that stuff got canceled. They had shows in the works. It's just that, you know, it's not going to work out. But maybe, you know, they did that Ilaria animated short. That 5-minute Ilaria animation. And I thought that was pretty good. And it had some moments in it from the Second War, which is like Warcraft 2 era. And I thought that it was good. There was even some violence in it. I was like, oh my god, some violence. Oh my god, I think that was blood. And so, yeah, so maybe an animated series. I don't know who they would partner with. Maybe they would partner with Amazon, since they're on Netflix's naughty list now. A WoW movie? Oh, please God, no. I think the last thing we will ever hear about is a movie. I think the days of, like, of these sorts of IPs wanting to make movies has come and gone. it's much, much better to make a TV series or an animated series. You can do so much more with a story and with characters when you have more than 2 hours of screen time to work with. So I don't think we'll ever hear about another movie. I think, you know, that was... The Warcraft movie that we got came from a time when that was what people tried to do. You wanted your IP to have a movie. If you were a video game or a book, the penultimate achievement was to become a movie. But now I think, like, the biggest achievement is to become a TV series. You know, like a streaming series. Just because it lets you tell a longer form story. Why are they not doing a BlizzCon? Like a big physical BlizzCon? It just costs too much money. And they're part of Microsoft now, so like as part of Microsoft, I don't even know if they could have a BlizzCon if they wanted to. But mainly they stopped doing BlizzCons because of like the incredible cost, planning, manpower. I'm trying to watch the time. If I get close to time or if I get over time, somebody yell at me in all caps. From what I know, they're going up at 12:45 my time, so we should still have a few minutes. Let's take a look. Okay, yeah, we're still waiting. With 7 minutes, 36 seconds until we can hear what they have to say. WoW for the Game Pass? Yeah, like, I would say classic for the Game Pass. Just because I don't know if they could optimize retail WoW to run on the Series X. And that's, as a proud owner of the Series X, I think that, like, the architecture that controls WoW's graphics is like a Jenga tower that's been stacked on top of itself for the last 20 years. And so, like, you still have a point where you can have, like, a $3,000 computer and you can be standing in the capital city and you're gonna have lag. You're gonna be at, like, subpar frame rates. And it's just because of how old the engine is. And I don't know if the Series X can handle, like, retail WoW at decent settings. Can you imagine being on a Series X and being in, like, a raid and having all of the spell effects firing up? Or being on the Series X and trying to, like, attack a world boss with 100 other people attacking the world boss at the same time? Like, it's not going to be able to handle it, unfortunately. If the game were better optimized on a newer engine, it could. But not the way it is. I think Classic on the Game Pass works. But I don't think retail WoW on the Game Pass works. I mean, it could work in the sense that, like, they could make it look like complete shit. And I know this because I fired up ESO one time on my Series X. Thinking, like, oh yeah, ESO, like, older game. Maybe I'll play it a little bit here and there on my Xbox in the evenings. The game looked so bad and ran so bad compared to how it looks and runs on my PC that I couldn't even tolerate looking at it. So, like, I really don't think retail WoW for the Xbox is a good idea. ESO looks great on Xbox? No, it doesn't. That's the problem, is that it doesn't. Because I played it on my computer, and I know what it looks like on a mid gaming computer, which is what I have. Like, I have a 3070. Like, I don't have an amazing rig. I have a newer rig built within the last few years, but it's not like incredibly expensive. And so ESO looks great on my computer, and it does not look good on the Xbox compared to that. And so, like, especially if you're a gamer who's, like, you know, you've played WoW. I don't know. I don't think there's an audience for it specifically on the Xbox, and I think that, like, there's not going to be a lot of crossover. You're not going to give up playing WoW on your PC in most cases to go play it on your Series X unless you have a PC that can barely run WoW to begin with. So, like, maybe it lets a few people get into the game who wouldn't get into it. I just don't think it would run good enough to do, like, group content. I think the group content would really suffer. You remember them saying when they launched the Series X that it had 8K video? Maybe it has 8K video if you want to look at, like, a piece of pixel art that isn't in motion. Then, like, maybe you could do that in 8K. But if you want to, like, play a video game, like, the best you're going to get is 1080 60. You can get 1080 60 or you can get 1440 30. Sometimes you get 1440, like 45 FPS. But no, your best bet is like you get 1080 60, and that's as good as it gets. And you get 1080 60 at like mid settings. What's turning my character gray? That is the Soul of Iron buff that for some reason all self-bound characters have. This buff makes no sense on this server because everybody's hardcore on the server, so like having the buff makes no sense. And every once in a while, it annoyingly turns us gray, and a little purple ball swirls around us. So yeah. All right, we have minutes, like actual minutes. Let's see. Probably not like the best place to park my character. We have 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Okay. I could probably kill like 2 more guys. If I were paying attention at all, I could probably kill like 2 more guys. You can't believe they have chat enabled. Oh wait, yes you can. Yeah, I've been glancing at the chat throughout the morning. It's been pretty entertaining. The crazy thing is, it's like people are obviously all asking for very similar things. There are definite like trends. There are definite like easy identifiers of what people want. Like, if you were to copy out the transcript and do a control search for like TBC, you would find the reference to TBC like hundreds of times. People really want TBC. Unfortunately, because it's Blizzard, like the more consensus there is in the player base of what they want, the less likely it is that Blizzard will give us that thing. So like the more I'm seeing people who want TBC, the more I'm like, damn, this probably means we're not getting TBC. Because, like, so many people want it. Like, how often do they actually do things that many people want? Resist? Oh, no. No, 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 no. We gotta kill this guy, then we gotta get somewhere safe. Am I gonna be pausing it and talking over it? I don't think so. I think we will try to talk about it afterwards. I want to watch it all play out. I'll try not to talk over it unless there's something really important I feel like I need to say. But I don't plan on really pausing it. We can like circle back to stuff afterwards if we want to do that. But yeah, I don't know about pausing it, because then I feel like I'm not getting the info as soon as other people are. I don't want to pause a live broadcast, you know. Okay, let's flip back over, and I guess we just we'll just patiently wait. Boop. All right. There's no more timer. there's no more timer. It's 12:44 where I'm at, and I don't see a timer. I'm gonna full screen the video as soon as I can, so we won't have to stare at the chat. But I can't full screen the video until it starts. I will probably mute the in-game because, yeah, I think they're gonna have their own stuff going on. If they don't have their own stuff going on, then I might pop the audio back out for the game. Okay. And now we sit in silence. There we go. All right, it's 12:45, and I don't know. It's not up yet. I'm gonna give a little refresh. Okay, the refresh did nothing. It's in they have their chat in subscriber mode only. Messages that appear are from people who subscribe to this channel for 20 minutes or longer. So right now you can't post in their chat unless you've been a subscriber. Thankfully, I am subscribed on this account. Yeah, it feels weird not having the WoW music. Yeah, I probably should have just left the music on, but, you know, I thought they would start on time. Like, who am I to assume that Blizzard will start on time. It's their stream. They can start it whenever they want. I like how we have 3.1 thousand likes, but we don't know anything yet. What are they basing their opinion on, whether they like it or not? And like, I really miss the days when we can see how many dislikes. It's so unfortunate that we can't see dislikes anymore. Buffalo Bill, good morning, man. Welcome to the stream. They had to have a manager review the presentation first, hence the delay. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, nobody vetted it. They're like, wait, we're telling them what? Oh, we can't tell them that. Pull that back. We gotta get a rewrite in. They are now officially 1 minute late to their own stream. This is a multi-dollar company. And they can only afford 1 clock for the whole building, and it's in the lobby. So like anytime they want to know what time it is, they have to run down to the lobby, check the clock. I'm sure that's what they're doing right now. Oh, now we got 13 more minutes? Wait. Wait, hold on. You're telling me that you're late, but then we still have to wait more. Okay, fair. They did say 1 o'clock originally. Originally, they did say 1 o'clock Eastern time. I guess now we wait. Okay. In that case, we'll just turn that down a little bit. I bet the music that they're playing in their stream, like whatever version of this music they're playing right now, I bet this is gonna get my video on YouTube, like, you know, copyright. A copyright claim has been made on your content. Please demonetize. Like, technically it's just the WoW music, but the last time we watched the BlizzCon, whatever music they had going on, copyright. Here's hoping for Progression Classic. Yeah, let's hope for Progression Classic. I'm down for that. I'd be down for anything that lets me play TBC again, even if I don't get to play TBC right away. Even if I have to go through a vanilla phase to get to the TBC progression, like, I would be okay with that. I would really like just TBC fresh, because that would let me start playing TBC right away. Because the problem with progression for me is that, like, sure, I'll play through the first phase, but ultimately I'm gonna be a Blood Elf. So I would still have to re-roll. As soon as we got into the TBC phase of the progression, I would have to re-roll. So that would be, like, kind of the annoying thing. I would probably roll something in vanilla on the Horde side, obviously, like planning to eventually roll a Blood Elf. But yeah, I would really just rather have straight up TBC era. Yeah, don't hope for anything so you can't be let down. That's a good point. That's what I try to do. I try not to get hyped for anything, like, ever. Like, I just try not to get hype at all. And if I do get hyped for something, I try to wait until the day before it's playable. Like, the night before something is playable, then I will get hyped for it. Like, oh, tomorrow I'm jumping into this. Now I can be excited. But before that, I try not to. Guys, like, be prepared. Like, I know that, like, all of us here, like, we're all classic players. Be prepared to have to listen to a lot about retail. Okay? Like, they're probably gonna lead off with retail. And they're probably gonna talk about retail a lot. So, like, I know we're all, like, hoping for some classic stuff. The reality is, this company makes their money by making modern WoW. And a lot of what they're gonna talk about is gonna be modern WoW. Some of what they're going to talk about is going to be things like Warcraft 2 Remaster and Warcraft 3 Reforged, Remaster, Reforged. Like, those will also be some things they talk about. So like what I'm saying, I guess, is that like the classic portion of today's presentation might be disappointingly small for people that only really care about classic. Just a fair warning. Set your expectations. This is not going to be an hour-long stream about MOP and SOD and Classic Plus and progression servers. It's not. That stuff's going to be tacked on at the end. Warcraft 3 Reforged again. The reforging.
I mean, like, it's cliche, but it's such a dream come true.
What are we?
Being able to create
Why are we?
That
What's happening?
So much happiness over the years.
Until I landed here in Irvine and went into the Blizzard campus, I literally didn't believe it was happening. I went into my office. And
are we in?
On the door sign.
Was that that wasn't 13 minutes?
It said Chris Metzen. So I just saw him going into the room one day and I completely geeked out.
It's so strange coming into work and realizing, oh, I work on this thing now. I get to contribute to the world in whatever way that I can.
How's the volume, guys?
Seeing it go live in game, whether that's a couple months afterwards or even up to a year after I finish the task, seeing people react to it it's amazing.
They're talking about their nature walks, yeah. Buffalo Bill, thank you so much for the super chat, man. Very kind of you. Be prepared to be disappointed. Oh, I am.
The best part of World of Warcraft. Like a lot of the memories
I'm prepared, man.
Were just things I did with my friends.
Do we care a lot about this portion of the thing? Because I don't really care about this portion of the thing. Like, do we want to listen to this a lot?
People that I've met playing World of Warcraft.
Should I not talk over it?
To a few different weddings of people that I met playing WoW.
WoW means a lot to me. I met my wife playing World of Warcraft, so it is a game that means an awful lot to me personally.
I met my wife.
We don't care. Yeah, I don't really care.
She asked if we wanted to play Arena together. We talked more than play, so I got to know her a little better. And many years later,
this is fluff to build up hype. Is this supposed to like? This is supposed to build up hype? Like, I don't know. I guess
there's maybe a good 50 to 100 people that I've come across.
I could fast forward. It's a live broadcast. I can't fast forward it. I can't skip it. I could turn it down a little bit. Also, I guess like subtitles on or off. I think I might keep the subtitles on. I'll full screen it once we're talking about real stuff and they're into the actual bulk of things. I'll full screen it. I don't know what we're looking at now. We're just watching a montage. We got the timer up here. We got 6 minutes of montage. 6 minutes of people talking about stuff. And leave the subtitles on. Yeah, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna leave them on. Yeah, I'm gonna leave the subtitles up. So like, I don't really care about this stuff. What do we got going on back in the game? Okay, I'm not dead, so that's good.
Working on Hearthstone and just in the Warcraft franchise and at Blizzard in general is something I've always dreamed about.
To work on this game that I've played and been a fan of for most of my
They'll
life,
showcase an app for meeting people. Isn't that called just like logging into the game?
I could have never imagined.
Can't you meet people in the game? All these people have stories about how they met people in the game.
Working on Warcraft Rumble, it's an incredible experience.
Warcraft Rumble, oh dear God.
I love the game anyways.
You poor soul.
Right, so I love to just be a part of that whole experience.
I work in localization. I play on the Taiwanese realm, so I see firsthand players all over the world able to enjoy the game in the language that they are used to. It is a great feeling to see that.
I always forget about Rumble, like that it even exists. I feel like everybody collectively forgot about Rumble. Like, I wonder if most of that team is still employed. I don't think it made them like the big mobile money they wanted.
12 years old, and somehow I ended up in a guild with a bunch of guys that were in their late 20s. They really enjoyed outdoor PvP.
This dude said he was 12 and he ended up in a guild with people in their 20s. Like, I don't know if as like a 12-year-old you should be hanging out with people in their 20s playing WoW. Like, I know how people in their 20s playing WoW talk and I know how they act. And like, I would not want my 12-year-old hanging out with a bunch of 20-year-olds who are playing WoW. Like, that would make me really uncomfortable. And I would also question, like, why they want a 12-year-old in their guild. I would question that too. Dude obviously lied about his age to his guild.
We'd have like 2 hours on, I would have like 2 hours on a Monday, Ryan would have 2 hours on a Tuesday or something. So yeah, we would have to trade off in that sense. Some days we might trade hours or...
Yeah, we used
Why are people spamming drops? Don't they know it's only a Twitch thing? They don't know. They don't know because they're on YouTube. They don't even know. They're probably not even sure like what a drop is, except they think it's something that they should want. That's why they're spamming it, because they don't even. I don't even know if they know.
Playing a lot of custom games. You know, a lot of those tower defense games that are super fun.
I was one of the main healers in our raid group. And I was home for the summer from college.
Oh god, 3 minutes, guys.
A puppy, and I was like, oh, my puppy's been really quiet. That's unusual. And I kind of lean over past my laptop, and she had gotten into one of my artist pens, and she just had ink everywhere.
Animal neglect.
Naturally being like, you know,
animal neglect. She's neglecting her animal to play World of Warcraft.
Toxic. I was like, oh my god,
the puppy got a toxic pen.
For them that through the laptop.
Now she's throwing laptops at the puppy.
Our entire raid. And that's one of my favorite stories of how my
puppy almost died eating a pen, then she threw her laptop at it.
I loved.
At least they killed the boss.
And I think,
puppy can get its stomach pumped later.
I went on a 10-win streak once. I'm not that good, but I love it. And I think I went on a 10-win streak once in the arena, and I didn't even think about it. It just happened, and it was pretty awesome.
I still remember the first time I went to BlizzCon. It was the 2017 BlizzCon. I was really excited. First time getting to see all of these big announcements for all these different games live.
This is really cheesy. It's a little bit cheesy. Yeah, it seems like for the most part it feels genuine. It doesn't feel like too cringe. I guess that's like the best thing I can say for it. Sometimes I hear from like the developers and stuff, or I see them in interviews and they're talking and it just seems really cringe. This seems at least like pretty sincere.
And I haven't left since. I've been playing World of Warcraft for about 15 years now. Which is pretty wild to think about.
I have been playing the same character, human frost mage, for all 15 years.
Yeah, so he started when he was 7.
20 years. Actually started like early alpha and beta.
I've been playing World of Warcraft, I guess, 21 years.
So he started when he was an infant.
A lot of our systems and our code is, you know, 20
The
years old.
worst thing for me as an older person is that all these people look like they're 12 years old to me.
And I heard
they all look like they're 12. Like, you've been playing the game how long? So are you counting the time you were in like your dad's lap? Like as a baby? Are you counting that time as game played?
People who actually signed it for me. And, you know, we get to share in like this experience of, oh, you know, like I was such a passionate fan. And, you know, you signed this and now I get to work with you as a professional.
I do think a lot of these people, like if they had a parent or like an older brother or somebody that played WoW when they were really young and they kind of like hung out with them and like sat with them and played with them, I think they count that as years they spent playing the game, even though it was probably mostly years they spent knowing someone who played the game.
Future of Hearthstone's looking very bright.
Which is fine, I guess, but it's a little bit different.
New cards coming out. We've got plenty of ways for both new and returning players to get into the game.
There is magic here, and I think that magic will continue for the next 30, 40, 50 years, and I'm excited for what's to come.
All right, we should be getting into it. Let's get into it. 8 seconds. Okay, we're gonna go full screen.
Warcraft has always been my peace and my outlet.
I have such a deep love for everything inside Azeroth.
I thought, I'm gonna move on eventually, as if it was just any other game. And it wasn't.
I was a very introverted person, I was lonely, and then I accidentally stumbled upon World of Warcraft. I even ended up in a guild, and in the guild I even made some friends.
And we always come together to enjoy the moments that we create in the game, whether they're fun, competitive, or silly.
You sent me a whispering game going, my water just broke. And I said, oh my goodness, I guess we better go to hospital. And you said, nah, let's kill this dragon.
And we did.
This stuff belonged in the part that we just got done watching. Like, when the timer hit 0, we should have went into learning cool shit. This stuff belonged in the part we were watching before the timer hit 0, because it's still like the sappy, wow, changed my life, like, stories, which is fine. But when the timer hits 0, I want to be in the announcements. I think, like, the personal storytelling time was good to have prior.
When I say World of Warcraft saved my life, I really mean it.
We're not into the announcements yet. We're not there yet. Yeah, they only have an hour.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Warcraft 30th Anniversary Direct. I'm Holly Longdale, the executive producer for World of Warcraft. Alongside Hearthstone, Warcraft Rumble, and the Warcraft real-time strategy games, we are all honored to be here to celebrate some big milestones with you and talk about the future. Many of us began our Warcraft adventures as players before we became developers at Blizzard. No matter which game we work on, we all share a deep love for the Warcraft universe.
She's a bigger boss now than just classic team.
Today, each of the Warcraft development teams will be sharing what's coming up. Some of it next year.
No, she had a role change. At some point, she had a role change.
And some will even be available today. So whether you've been traversing the plains of Azeroth with a view from above, or chilling in the Hearthstone Tavern, sorting out your minis for your Rumble machine, or pursuing Xalatath in Khazalgar, thank you so much for taking the time to join us. Now, what better place to begin than with the games that started it all? Here's Brad Chan from the Warcraft RTS.
RTS.
It's kind of funny how life ends up. I actually never thought about ever being a developer. When I was younger, I just wanted to play video games. Back in 2007, I was at a regional qualifier playing a game called Warcraft 3. After I qualified for the tournament, someone came up to me, gave me his card, and was like, hey, we're looking for experienced RTS players to join our design team. Naturally, I said I wasn't interested. I was gonna go to the Nationals, win that, go to the Worlds, win that, easy. Well, it was a good thing I kept that guy's card, because 16 years later, here I am, working on a game that remains so important to me and so many players around the world. Throughout my career, I've stuck to a few guiding principles. When something is broken, you fix it. When something is wrong, you make it right. And if things aren't good enough, you make them better. So without further ado, I'm here to announce patch 2.0 for Warcraft 3 Reforged.
Reforged.
Available now, this patch overhauls the environments and lighting and revamps the user interface. In addition, we are up-resing all classic Warcraft 3 assets to HD. You can now customize the type of assets you want to play with and even mix and match if you like. We have also included a bunch of quality of life changes, such as in-game hotkey customization, a revamped ladder, and much, much more. We hope you enjoy this update, which will be available to everyone who owns Reforged. Now, I'm not just here to talk about Warcraft 3. We're also here celebrating 30 years of Warcraft. So not only will Reforged be receiving an update today, but we are also releasing fully remastered versions of Warcraft 2
Did he say today?
and 1. So you can experience
Receiving
the
an
story
update today?
from the very beginning.
Today, this day?
These remasters have brand new, hand-drawn visuals that capture the original art style from each game. And you'll be able to swap between the original graphics and the remastered versions in real time.
Nice, that looks really good. It's like the StarCraft 2 or the StarCraft
For
1
Warcraft
remaster.
1, we added modern controls such as right-click move, bandbox select, and a faster game speed.
Nice.
Both games have also received various UI and UX improvements such as tooltips and health bars, mission select screen, and an increased unit selection. Warcraft 2 will still have multiplayer functionality, and all legacy custom maps will still be fully compatible and playable. We are also bringing back the Warcraft Battle Chest, which will include Warcraft 1, 2, and 3.
Ooh, the battle chest. Remember the battle
here's
chest?
30 years of Warcraft, and I can't think of a better way than celebrating than reliving the story from the very beginning. Oh,
Very
did I
cool.
mention this is all available right now?
Right now. Go pay them money right now.
Of darkness have come again. What are you doing, my son? Succeeding you, father. In truth, it was I who was betrayed. You must lead your people to their destiny.
I'm trying to see if we can actually buy these right now on Battle.net. I don't see them in the list. Oh, wait. Oh, I didn't scroll down far enough. Oh, yeah, they're here now. Oh, they're here. Warcraft 1 remaster.
Work completed. By your command.
I can't get to the prices yet. The page is lagging out. $9.99 for Warcraft 1 remaster. And let's see, Warcraft 2 remaster. Loading as everybody hits the page all at once. $14.99. $9.99 for Warcraft 1 remaster, $14.99 for Warcraft 2 remaster. Go swipe your cards, boys. Let them know we like this. Let them know with your wallet that we like this. I'm going to be picking these up today, and I'm definitely going to be playing them. Yep. A recorded series coming soon.
To think that Hearthstone turns 10 this year. It's been such an incredible decade. Together, we've made the tavern a place for sharing joy, excitement, and some very tall tales indeed. We've made friends with Murlocs, battled old gods, and now we're traveling through space. But for me, the most incredible thing of all is that I get to work on my favorite game with such an amazing team. Ever since Hearthstone came out, we've been with you on that road to legend. I remember on my first climb to legend, I had played something like 500 games in 1 month. And as the clock ticked to midnight, I was 2 wins away and didn't make it. But I played another 500 games the following month and made it. Shout out to Darkshire Councilman. But those 1,000 games pale in comparison to the more than 160 billion games that we've all played over the last decade. And that's not counting Battlegrounds. Can you believe that it's been 5 years since the mode launched at BlizzCon? That's 5 years of building Death Rattle Beast comps, magnetizing mechs, completing quests, and collecting trinkets. It's been awesome to watch Battlegrounds grow.
Battle.net is borked.
The biggest tavern brawl ever.
Try shopping for stuff on Battle.net right now. It's completely borked.
We're so thankful to our community for being with us
Everyone's trying to log on and buy those.
And we're looking forward to the next 10
Yeah, I
years
can't
in
even
the
I can't even get to the point where I make a
future
purchase.
is packed with even more places to explore.
It won't let me spend my
and
money.
to share. More expansions, more mini sets, and more surprises. Now, let's take a look
it's completely
at what's
borked.
just
Oh, here we
around
go.
the
Here we go.
corner.
One of the amazing
No,
things
no,
of
couldn't
working at
load that. We
Blizzard
couldn't
is
load that.
getting
Okay.
to watch other teams pushing the boundaries on their own games. I think we're all genuinely fans
The
of what our
battle
coworkers
chest
are
is
up to, and it's
$25.
really special when we find moments to collaborate.
That's worth
What's
it.
up, everybody?
Yeah, I'm gonna get the battle
I hope
chest.
you're enjoying your adventures among the stars in the great dark beyond. We loved working on this expansion and wanted to take our next mini set further into the cosmos than ever before. Prepare to travel beyond Azeroth, beyond Warcraft, and into Heroes of StarCraft. I'm super excited for this mini set. It's the first time we've ever explored another universe this deeply in Hearthstone. A ton of people on the team have so much love for StarCraft. So being able to bring it into the Hearthstone
It's
Tavern
such a good price.
has been incredible.
Such a good price.
Some might say,
what are we talking about here?
Time.
Oh, we're talking about Hearthstone. Oh, great. I don't care about Hearthstone at all.
Obviously, we knew we had to go big. The Zerg, Terran, and Protoss factions are represented on cards via a faction banner. Not only do the cards in each faction work well with one another, they're also usable across multiple classes. Each of the factions also has a hero card featuring one of the most iconic faces from StarCraft. The Zerg are led by the Queen of Blades herself, Sarah Kerrigan. She gives Death Knights, Hunters, Warlocks, and Demon Hunters access to an aggro playstyle with near endless swarms of Zerg cards. After all, what would a StarCraft mini set even be without its own version of a Zerg?
I am surprised that we're talking about StarCraft and Hearthstone during the Warcraft Direct.
He grants his powers to druids, mages,
I mean, it's still Hearthstone, so I guess it's still Warcraft adjacent.
High mana cost units and uses the
But this is
psionic
StarCraft
powers
stuff.
of the Protoss to make those cards cheaper. And finally, who else could we have to lead the Terran besides the iconic Jim Raynor? Thanks to him, warriors, paladins, and shamans.
I would have been happier to hear about StarCraft 3.
But these aren't your average starships.
So I don't care about Hearthstone.
When we
Does
first
anybody
started
care about
working on this
Hearthstone?
mini set, we went to the team and asked, what does this need to have in order to truly feel like StarCraft? We've made sure to represent as many units.
What does
from
it need to
StarCraft
have to
as
feel like
possible.
StarCraft? It needs
There's
to be an
even one
RTS.
character from Warcraft
I think that's
snuck
it.
their way
It just needs to
into
be an
the
RTS,
set.
and then it will feel like
Grunty,
StarCraft.
The Terran armored Murloc.
Oh, that makes it feel like
On top
StarCraft.
of
Yeah, yeah.
everything else,
Yeah, a
Heroes
cute
of
Murloc, a
StarCraft
cute
has
Murloc
more
wearing
cards
Terran
than
armor. That's
any mini
really
set
that
we've
really
done before.
reminds me of
There's
StarCraft.
so much to explore here. So many strategies, so many interactions, and so much StarCraft nostalgia. And we might have some special
Classic is
music
going to
as
be
well,
last.
just
Yes,
for the occasion.
Classic will be last.
Heroes of StarCraft
Absolutely.
is coming in January.
Classic makes them no money.
But there's
It makes
even
them no
more
money, so they
coming
have to
up
talk
for
about it
Hearthstone.
last.
We're making some big changes to Arena.
Nothing like a Murloc Marine to get you immersed. Exactly, exactly.
As Leo mentioned, Arena is getting a major glow up. But first,
Great.
let's talk about what makes Arena special.
Can we skip this?
Arena is Hearthstone's premium draft mode, where you build your own deck from scratch at the start of every run. It's all about you flexing your deck building skills and card knowledge to
Flexing my
defeat
what?
your opponents. And believe it or not, Arena has stayed mostly the same for 10 years.
I believe
So
it.
we thought it was finally time for a little
It's
bit of an
not.
update.
It's not
From
hard to
now
believe
on, there will be
that you
two
haven't
kinds
made
of
any
Arena to
changes or
choose from.
improvements.
Normal Arena has a shorter format that lets you complete your runs more quickly, but still gives you that awesome competitive Arena experience. And after you've established yourself in
Did
the
my
normal
ad
Arena,
blocker
you'll be able
break?
to
I don't use
descend
ad blockers.
into
I
the
just pay for
dark,
premium.
dank cellar of the tavern, where
Yeah, I
challengers
just pay
are
YouTube
engaging in high-stakes card
to
play
not run
in
ads.
our underground arena. Underground has a distinctive basement aesthetic. Longer
A
runs
basement
and
aesthetic?
A new feature we call
Most
redraft
people who
on
play
loss.
Hearthstone still
This
live in their
means that
mother's
when you
basements,
lose,
so that's
you'll have
good.
the
They'll
option
feel
to
right at
redraft
home.
cards and edit your deck, refining it to up your chances of winning as you take on more hardened challenges.
They can't afford a place of their own because they've blown all their money on digital cards
Arena champion.
and super expensive bundles.
Arena ratings will be available for both
So they
the
have no
normal
cash.
and underground modes. Ranking for the two are separate, with the usual skill-based
Yeah,
matchmaking in
a
normal
basement where you're constantly
but in
flexing your
underground
deck.
Arena, you'll be throwing caution to the wind and facing off against opponents of all skill levels. Whether you're an Arena veteran or maybe you just haven't clicked
This
that
feels like
Arena
an ad.
button in a
Oh, I
while,
get it. I
we
get
hope
it. It's
these
because this
changes
feels like an
offer you
ad. This
another
whole section
exciting
kind of
way
feels like an
to
ad.
enjoy
Yeah, yeah,
your
yeah.
time in the tavern with us. And I'm happy to tell you all of this will be coming in the first half of next year.
Great.
Now, here's Tyler to
Now,
share
something
even more
else.
of what's in store for Hearthstone.
Oh no. More of the same. This is a lot of time spent on Hearthstone.
As you can see, we've got a lot of
This is
really
concerning to
exciting
me.
things planned for the next few updates. But what kind of game director would I be if I didn't spill even more beans about what's coming next? It's
I don't
going
know.
to be the year of the Raptor.
Oh,
And
the
you'll
year
be
of the
going on
Raptor.
some
I love
awesome
it.
adventures in
Dinosaurs
some
are
of your
cute.
favorite Azeroth locations. Next year, we kick things off with one of our most requested settings as we journey
People
into
request
the
things?
Emerald Dream.
People want you to
Here
make
you'll
more
find
things?
yourself in the middle of a legendary face-off between the Druids of the Emerald Dream and the forces of the Old Gods. They'll be fighting a high-stakes battle over the fate of the World Tree in our first expansion of the year. And things are going to heat up even more when the Druids of the Flame light up the mini set. Our
God.
second expansion is also Hearthstone's.
They're recycling Dragonflight story to fuel like Hearthstone decks.
For a mythical lost Tortolan city.
It's like,
spoiler alert, keep an eye on
yeah,
that
just some
volcano.
recycled lore.
After uncovering the secrets of the lost city,
Oh my God.
take part in a grand celebration in the 33.4 mini set. The party-loving
Why is
Tortolans
Modern
are
Blizz so
hosting a
soft and
festival in honor of
cartoony?
the mighty
Because most of the developers at Modern Blizz grew up with Disney and Pixar.
is our third expansion.
And so all of their art and the things they like have been heavily influenced by like years of Disney and Pixar movies. Because it's what they grew up with.
This all leads to an epic
Whereas like I grew up watching like Predator and like Freddy Krueger and like listening to my uncle play Metallica in his bedroom too loud. Like I grew up with some things. These people grew up with Disney.
Incredibly excited, and we hope you're incredibly excited. Thank
So,
you so much
that's
for
why.
being part of this incredible journey. 10 years in, and our adventures in the tavern together are only just beginning.
Oh God, we're talking about Rumble. I can't take this.
Blizzard has this awesome tradition of sharing the journey that each team took.
I'm getting
to bring their
really
games
concerned about the amount of time that we're going to spend even talking about World of Warcraft.
to life. I think this museum is a beautiful way to relive the memories of development
Oh, man.
and share that passion with the rest of Blizzard. What's up, everyone?
I'm surprised they don't
It's been about
sell
a year
like the
since I stood on the
actual
main stage of BlizzCon,
Rumble
and we launched
minifigs.
Warcraft Rumble together with all of you. And what a year!
I feel like there'd be a market for
All of us
people
on the
like
team
people
have
who
had
like
so much
Funko
fun
Pops a
watching you
lot,
dig
like
into
would
our
probably
game,
like to buy
explore
these
the
little
hero
minifigs.
collection, the army building, the nail
They
biting
could probably sell them
finishes.
for like $49.99 a piece.
You've beaten over
And people would buy
900
them
million bosses.
just to put them on their
And
shelf
on
and
the
never
matter
do
of
anything
Alliance
with them.
versus Horde, you picked Team Jaina almost 10% more.
This is their
And
mobile
maybe,
game.
Most importantly,
Yeah, this is Warcraft
you've
Rumble.
Summoned over 1 billion.
It's like kind of like a tower
2 billion
defense thingy, sort of. I don't
Just
know.
a second. We're
Whoa, what's up?
Shoot Rumble here.
Oh, Rumble?
Oh, they're trying to be funny.
Oh, I know a little bit about that. Scoot the camera. Cool. Awesome. When we started working on Warcraft Rumble, we wanted to make something that harkened back to our strategy roots. Like the first time I booted
You
up
forgot this
Warcraft
existed.
2 on my
Most
dad's
people forgot
Power
about
Max
this as soon as it launched.
7166 AV. I'm
Yeah,
stoked to
most
play
people
those
forgot
new
right away.
remasters. But we also wanted to do something in our universe that we'd never done before. So we started imagining that maybe somewhere in the Hearthstone Tavern, there was a mysterious arcade machine that printed miniature versions of the heroes and villains of Azeroth and zapped them to life for you to collect and command. In those kind of early days when we were establishing the art style of Warcraft Rumble, we wanted a sense of tactility. We wanted to be able to pick up and touch the art that we were creating inside of the computer. So some of us went and printed minis and painted them up like this. And that's
See,
kind
they
of
have
really where
minis.
all this came from. All of these minis
You guys are
were
spending your
painted
days
by our
painting
team.
minis?
And,
Why don't you go
I'm
make
a
video
little bit
games?
biased, but this little guy's my favorite.
What does that say underneath?
Oh, under here? Oh, it says Jeremy. But we've done more than paint minis since our game launched.
Doubt
We've
it.
added new dungeons and at least one new mini every single season. We've got the Dark Moon Fair, new zones, and a whole new family for you to experience in the game. We added our first raid, Molten Core, and laid siege to Stormwind. In our latest season, we even bust down the doors of Ironforge. And we ain't stopping there, are we, Vic?
Yeah.
I wish
Let's
you
talk a little
would.
bit about what's coming up. Starting right now, if you hop into Rumble, we're running our first anniversary event with some truly excellent loot.
We're celebrating 1 year of Warcraft Rumble, so if you jump in after the stream, you'll be able to snag some
It's been
super
out for
cool
a year.
rewards, like the
Nobody
very
plays it,
valuable
nobody
looking
knows
gold
about it, and
cobalt,
nobody
which we
cares.
affectionately call the Kogol.
How long do these developers get to
scan
keep
this
their
thing yet?
jobs?
Great.
Probably like
We've
7
also
more
been
months.
working on something really exciting for later in the season. There are some characters in Warcraft that don't fit so cleanly into just one of our families. So we're adding split leaders. These leaders belong to 2 families at the same time, which really expands the possibilities of how you build out your armies. And we're not just adding 1 split leader, we're starting with 3. Up first, fighting for the Alliance and Cenarian families, is Malfurion Stormrage. And representing the Horde and Blackrock families, we got Chieftain and former War Chief Orgrim Doomhammer. And finally, leading Undead and Beasts is Anu Barak. But before any of these 3 new leaders join the fight, we're going to be reworking one that we released this time last year. Sylvanas Windrunner is finally taking her rightful place among both the Horde and
Oh
Undead.
my god.
We've got an awesome season ahead of us and can't wait for you to check it out. We'll be right there with
Oh,
you.
the
To our
artwork,
amazing
though, please
fans,
stop.
Thank you for an incredible first year of Warcraft
Oh.
Rumble and for your unwavering support.
Unwavering.
Your passion fuels our creativity
Oh, I'm
and
wavering.
truly drives us forward. But
I'm
there was
beginning to
one more
waver.
thing we wanted to talk about.
That's what I want to do. Walk away. Just walk
Right? There
away.
was
Keep
one more thing
walking.
we wanted to talk about, right?
No, please don't.
Nope. That's all I had. See you later.
Don't try to be funny. Just tell us things about games we like. Just tell us things. Here we go. What are we doing? Oh, we're playing retail. There we go. Here's retail. I mean, it's bad acting because they're not actors. They're just Blizzard employees. The production values are high, but it is pretty cringe. PC, there you go. Warcraft Rumble, what we've all been waiting for. PC beta. Because, you know, sometimes your phone dies, guys. Sometimes you don't got a phone. When you don't got a phone, you still gotta play Rumble. So, yeah, we'll be streaming that 5 days a week when it hits PC, obviously.
We are so excited that
Dreams
you're
do
here
come
to
true.
celebrate 20 years of World of Warcraft with us. When the game first came out in 2004, I remember Facebook had just launched. I'd been in the game industry for a handful of
Oh
years.
no, we're doing
when
the
I
History
picked up
Channel
WoW,
special part
and
now.
I was in awe. Even when I was running about and exploring on my Night Elf Hunter, I made friends who would group with me and tackle just about anything, including helping me save 40 gold for my first mount. I loved it. I still do, just like many of you. And as most
Wait,
of you
wait,
know,
wait, wait.
the game
40 gold
saw
for her first mount? Hold on. Back up. She paid 40 gold for her first mount? So she never got a mount in vanilla? When did she pay 40 gold for her first mount? Your first mount should have cost you 90 gold and some change. 40 gold? Those ain't vanilla prices. Those ain't the caught out. She's not a classic player, guys. She's never played vanilla. 40 gold for her first mount, so she started playing in TBC or Wrath of the Lich King. Imposter.
Some of you have met partners in the
40
world,
gold.
gotten married. Some of you have
She had to save 40 gold. Damn, 40 gold is cheap.
characters and locations in the game. Veterans from all over.
It's not 40 gold, it's level 40. Yeah, there you go. No, it's 100 gold.
We've welcomed seniors, even whole families.
Yeah,
playing
you
together
get your
with their
mount at
kids,
40 and it's
so many
100
more
gold
who call
and then
our
there's
world
rep.
home.
So like if
No
you have
matter
rep,
who
it'll be
you
like 90 gold for
When you come
everything.
to Azeroth, you can live
Was she
high
not
on
counting
Earth and be who you wanna be.
maybe she's not counting the
It's a
cost of
gift for
training
so
and the
many,
mount?
and certainly to us.
What's the
We
cost
feel
of
it
training and then the cost of the mount? Maybe one of them is 40 and one of them is like 50. That's all I can think of.
Special Stories is live now.
I don't
on
think she
Netflix,
knows.
And a documentary called The
Whoever
Remarkable
wrote the
Life
script didn't know. That's the problem.
Maud Steen, who played a character named Evelyn, lived a life in Azeroth that he couldn't in the real world. He suffered from Duchenne muscular dystrophy for most of his life and fought it courageously alongside his incredible family, who I'm proud to have met and fallen in love with. Because of Mats and his roleplay guild called Starlight, his family discovered the power of online game communities and advocate for gaming around the world as a source of joy and companionship. Sadly, Mats was taken from this world and Azeroth far too soon. Because of Mats and stories like his, we were inspired to create a charity pet program for classic and our modern game to support
I just
Cure
wanted to be
Duchenne,
quiet and respectful while she
a nonprofit
told the story.
organization dedicated to improving and extending the lives of those affected by Duchenne muscular dystrophy. We want to thank you in advance for giving to this cause that offers support to people just like Mats. This little cutie is Revan, and he's available until January 6th.
Sad but
He
not
was
relevant.
inspired by
It's
the
sad and it's
detective
relevant in the
agency
sense that
Mott's
they
created for his
want to sell
busy
you something.
roleplay life in Azeroth.
So that they want to sell you something, so that makes it relevant. They're asking for our money by hitting us in the feels. It's a little bit worse.
Right now, we have
Yeah.
our 20th anniversary celebration
They're hitting us in the
running
feels,
in-game.
and
We've got
in the next
modernized
breath
Tier
asking
2
us for
armor
money.
sets, classic
But they're
time
not. I'm sure
walking,
they're not keeping any of the
new
money.
world bosses, trading post items, rewards, and more with all that nostalgic flavor. In the War Within expansion that we released a few months ago, we've taken the leap into the first chapter of the World Soul Saga. More coming on that. And of course, Classic is always cooking. But this moment
It's
is
cooking.
about
Does it feel
you.
like it's
You're
cooking?
the thundering heart of World of Warcraft and always have
Feels like
been.
it's simmering
Stay
on a back
tuned as
burner.
we share what we are serving up for you. And thanks for making Azeroth a place you call home.
I wouldn't call it cooking. I call it simmering at a low heat.
Hey everyone! Clay and I are so excited to be here today during this anniversary celebration to talk about what's coming up for WoW Classic.
I can't believe
Here
that
we go,
after
hold
20
your
years,
breath.
my Orc Warrior is still finding new adventures in Azeroth. Shout out to all my buds in Tacondrius.
Feels like just yesterday I was on my Night Elf Druid, ganking some buddies on the Teneris realm at the Crossroads. Sorry about that.
Being on the Classic team and getting to help contribute to this incomparable legacy, which has breathed new life into the original Classic experiences, I'm not sure anything compares to it. I love how vocal and passionate our player base is, not only about what parts of WoW's history they want to see come back, but also their passion for things we try and have experimented with.
Speaking of us taking some pretty big swings, in Season of Discovery, we've loved watching you use your new class abilities, take on our all-new level-up raids, find secrets, and team up to defeat Ragnaros and Nefarian. We're looking forward to the AQ war effort unlocking very, very soon here, which will lead right into the launch of the Encourage raid. This will bring new changes and surprises that we can't wait to bring to you. Fun new mechanics,
I mean, we
difficulty
knew this was
changes,
going to be a
new
lot of what they talked
rewards.
about.
You know us well enough by now
Mist
to know exactly
Pandaria,
how we'll mix it up
Sod.
as you wager your sanity for ancient Kiraji riches.
Beyond that, for Season of Discovery, we have one more phase to come. We previously announced we will progress through all the phases of the original Classic era. So get ready not only for
Thank
next
God,
Ramus,
one more
but new
phase.
instance content featuring the Scarlet Crusade, as well as adventures in Deadwind Pass. Now to Cataclysm Classic, where we recently launched the legendary Firelands. You've undertaken difficult challenges, besting Ragnaros and his feet, and are hopefully a few steps closer to getting your very own Dragon Wrath staff. We're looking forward to bringing you the final phase of Cataclysm Classic when our Hour of Twilight patch and Dragon Soul raid launch early next year.
Early next
I
year.
know you Classic players out there must be curious where we're going next. But let's be honest, you know where we're going next.
You see what he did there? We already know all the news. We already know where they're going next. If this is not what you want, this is as good as it gets, I think, today. Pandaria is not classic. Big true, big true. It's classic now. It's classic enough. They're gonna call it classic, and you're gonna play it. You're gonna play it, kid, and you're not gonna complain about it. You're gonna keep your filthy mouth shut, and you're gonna enjoy what we feed you. Eat what we feed you. Consume the product. It's right there. It says classic. It's obviously classic. It says Pandaria classic. It's obviously classic.
The Classic team is proud to announce that Mists of Pandaria Classic is coming. and we can't wait to bring it to you next summer. With its legendary class design and incredible raids and dungeons, set amongst a gorgeous environment and backed by an unforgettable soundtrack, we'll be traveling back to experience all that Pandaria has to offer together.
I mean, he's right about the environments and the soundtrack. He's right about that, yeah. Amazing environments, amazing soundtrack.
Mists of Pandaria Classic is super exciting for all of us, as well as Season of Discovery, and we love that we'll continue to be on that journey with you. But we know, we spend some time on the internet, and we've heard some of you out there.
They know the internet.
You want something fresh.
Guys, they know the internet.
Which is why we are so pleased to announce that we are bringing you the classic experience. All new Fresh Realms with the WoW Classic 20th Anniversary Edition. And it's happening soon.
How soon, Clay?
Actually soon. These realms will be going live next week on November 21st, but you won't have to rush to level 60. Classic is all about the journey after all.
They got close.
As we've made a change, and our first raid, Molten Core, won't unlock for a few weeks after launch.
We'll be launching realms of all flavors.
They got so fucking
normal
close.
PvE, and for the very first
New
time,
hardcore.
hardcore, which will progress through the phases in lockstep with the other two. This means a fresh start for everyone at the same time, together, on a level playing field with fresh economies on very large realms.
If you missed out on jumping into WoW Classic's initial launch in 2019, this is the perfect time to join our community. These servers will also launch with some of the quality of life features that came later on, like the Chrono Boon Displacer to save your world buffs, and the improved PvP honor ranking system. And yes, we're also pleased to announce that these realms will progress to the Burning Crusade Classic.
Thank fucking God. Thank fucking God. Thank
Launching
fucking
these servers
God.
Close to the exact date
Oh my
World
God,
of
we were
Warcraft
so
came
close
out
to a
20
huge
years
fail.
ago,
Thank fucking
alongside
God.
all the work we're doing for Season of Discovery, Cataclysm Classic,
Oh,
and
man.
Mists of Pandaria Classic.
Fuck yeah,
means
let's
so
fucking
much
go.
to us. We love this game, and we love the community that has made
Let's
Classic
fucking go.
realms their home alongside their friends.
From all of us on
They
the Classic
fucking did
team,
it.
thank you. This
Thank
amazing
God.
journey is one that's been co-written by you, our incredible community.
Saved. Actually saved. They saved it, guys.
Hi everyone. We're in the middle of such an incredible moment.
That's it.
for
That's
World of
all I
Warcraft.
care about.
The World Soul Saga kicked
Stream
off
over?
in August with the launch of The War Within, and we have been so excited to dive into the expansion alongside all of
A
you.
guild from day one?
Whether you enjoy
Absolutely.
raiding, dungeons, delves, PvP, collecting appearances,
Absolutely.
pets and mounts, role-playing, or exploring the open world, we hope
They
you
said
found
the
a part of
20 the
Azeroth
21st?
that brings you joy. It's humbling to be standing
They
here
said the
on
21st,
eve
right?
of WoW's 20th anniversary. Looking back,
We got, like,
20 years
fucking
ago,
8
I was
days.
fresh out of school, and I had just seen enough
Clear
of the
your
beta to know
schedules.
that I needed to play this game, and then immediately stopped to avoid spoiling the experience for myself. I'd booked a couple days off work for launch,
Am
and
I
was
gonna
looking
go on an
forward
EU
to really
server? I
diving
don't
into
know.
Azeroth. But little did
I'm
I
not
know
sure.
that my server
These
would be
are things I have
offline
to
for the
think
first
about.
few days due to overwhelming demand.
I don't
Shout
know.
out to Mal'Ganis. But even less could I imagine how this
With,
game
with my
would in
current
so many
schedule, I might
ways
not, because my
define
current
the rest
schedule
of
has
the
me
course
playing a little
of
bit
my
later
adult
in the
life.
day, as opposed to earlier. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't think I care about any of the rest of this.
So, let's talk about what's coming up for World of Warcraft.
But we'll listen.
Starting with what's on the horizon. We have 1107 Siren Isle, which is currently up on our public test realms.
Yeah, the
This
Fresh
update will go
Classic is
live
they
next
confirmed it's
month,
progressing
and it has
into
something
TBC.
for
Yeah, yeah.
everyone. On the narrative front,
Like
this
they
update
confirmed that at the
includes
very
epilogue
end.
quest lines
The
for
Fresh
Dalaran
Classic
and the
that's opening on the
current
21st
tour. No spoilers,
will
but the
eventually
storyline
progress into
features the
Burning
mysterious
Crusade.
Haranir, who
And like,
also
who knows
plays a
after
starring
that? You know,
role in
if
our
they progress
expansion
into Burning
release
Crusade,
in
who's to say they
We'll
don't
also
eventually
get into
progress
the
into Wrath of the
prologue
Lich
for
King?
where we're going next, but more on that in a minute. 1107 also, of course, brings its namesake, the Siren Isle, a new outdoor environment to explore.
Yeah, we'll
full of mysteries to
hopefully they'll
uncover
give us the
and
server
rewards
names
to
soon.
help catch up
Hopefully
your
they'll give us
vaults
server
and
names.
Prepare for the next War Within.
You know,
season
like
ahead.
before the servers open on the
Plunderstorm
21st.
is returning.
Plunderstorm.
This time with a plunder store to give you
With
more
a plunder
flexibility
store,
in earning
guys.
your rewards instead of
Don't you like
linear
that plunder
renown track.
store?
Also making a return will be the latest iteration of our Turbulent Timeways event and a Winter Veil revamp. We can't wait for you all to experience this update next month. As an additional treat, for those of you invested in the story of the War Within, we will be releasing a novella that explains exactly what happened to Jaina and Thrall after they left us. This novella is narrated by none other than Chris Metzen and available today. So, I know many of you have already seen 1107, but you have to be wondering where the War Within is going to take us after that. Okay, so following Xal'atath's trail is going to lead us to a location.
Yeah, the start date was the 21st.
On the idea of an underground
And like, what is the 21st? The 21st is a Thursday, obviously. Whoops.
One patch.
Yeah, it's a Thursday. Next Thursday?
Now, this is a city unlike any city we've seen before.
It's next Thursday.
In World of Warcraft, standing as a testament to the intelligence and creativity of the
New
goblins,
playthrough on retail? Absolutely never.
technology and alchemy. And as our adventures continue, we will learn more about goblin culture than ever before.
Oh, goblin culture. Great. I hate goblins.
What problems they're trying to solve.
That's awesome.
What they're capable of.
Super excited. I'm super excited to be missing out on all the goblin lore that I don't like.
Beyond the humor and the explosions.
Very happy
There's going to be a whole lot of
for progression that goes into TBC.
You'll arrive at an
We're going. Where are we going? PvP or RP? We are going PvE. PvE. I learned my lesson.
The venture company.
I'm not going to spend my time getting stream sniped by losers. I learned my lesson.
Align yourself with a group of your choice and run into notorious goblins.
And I don't want to drag anybody else through the muck with me into PvP. So we're just gonna go PvE and be happy.
Now, if you're gonna be in cahoots with a goblin cartel, you can't be seen rolling around.
EU or US? Yeah, I'm not sure right now.
So early on, you'll earn a vehicle designed just for Undermine to push the boundaries.
I don't know. Right now, probably US.
Undermine was built.
I think I'm gonna do Kata and Mr. Pandaria on the EU, and I think I'm gonna keep Era stuff in the US.
Much faster than your regular ground mounts. You can also further adjust your car's driving characteristics. Do you prefer grip or do you want to drift more? Do you want more acceleration even if it's going to come at the expense of your top speed? That's up to you. You can try it all and rule
I'm gonna go on the biggest East Coast PvE server. That's typically what I do. Since I live in the East Coast, it just makes sense.
A new dungeon in Undermined. Operation Floodgate.
Hoarder Alliance? Damn it. Yeah, Horde, obviously.
That would bring ruin to the ringing deeps.
Yeah, we're gonna go. I'm gonna go Horde because obviously when TBC comes out, I'm gonna roll a Blood Elf.
On heroic,
so yeah, I gotta think about like what I'm gonna roll in vanilla and how that's gonna help me eventually roll a Blood Elf.
Now we'll have many more details in the weeks ahead, but I can tell you that one of those legacy dungeons,
we're going Horde.
Naturally, in light of our goblin theme here, is the Motherlode from Battle for Azeroth. Continuing to build upon one of our favorite parts of the War Within, this new zone brings with it 2 new delves for you to explore, and we're creating new variations on the existing delves. We're also introducing seasonal updates to Bran Bronzebeard, a new adversary to follow Zekvir,
Undead Warlock? I don't know what I want to do.
For Bran.
I need to put some thought into like what I want to do. But yeah, well, all I can say for sure is we're gonna go Horde side.
Called The Liberation of Undermine coming your way, which takes you through the streets of the city and into the magnificent Galagio, brimming with color and extravagance that also hides the dark secrets of its owner, the one and only Gallywix.
Sorry that I'm talking over all the retail stuff.
We're also introducing a new arena map set right amidst the city.
Goblin stuff. They're having lots of goblin stuff. Goblin stuff coming soon is the TLDR.
Wondering how Xal'atath fits into
and Ian's looking good with his little beard.
Relate to the fate of
He's looking good.
But rest assured, Undermine plays a vital role as a continuation, a next chapter in the many stories.
I always thought Ian was going to go bald, but it looks like he's hanging in there. He's hanging in there.
Months ahead. And that is just the beginning of what we have planned for the next year. Now, as you can see, 2025 is going to be an incredible year for both modern and
the only thing I'm excited for retail stuff is Plunderstorm. I did have a lot of fun with Plunderstorm. I will play some Plunderstorm when they put it into the game.
As the World Soul Saga
and that's probably it.
We are reflecting on these past 20 years with immense gratitude as we lay the foundations upon which to build the next 20. On behalf of the entire World of Warcraft team, thank you so much for being the heart of the history of Azeroth. Whether you've just joined our community, been with us for the last 2 decades, or somewhere in between, thank you for making Azeroth your home.
There we go.
Speaking of home, the team does have one more
Speaking of home,
to share with you.
What are they going to? What about home? Player housing? What are we talking about? Speaking of home, he said. This looks like player housing to me. This look like player housing to you guys? It looks like player housing. If I can play the game and just have a house, I'll do that.
Thank you for joining us today and for being with us for the past 3 decades. The Warcraft universe is a living, breathing world that's been experienced by over 250 million players around the globe. That's millions of stories of adventure, laughter.
So I like player housing. And like,
and as the years have passed and our communities,
if there's a way to play the game
the statue behind us reminds us
where like all I can do, or I can just like play my character and I can just focus on things like for my house, like maybe that's a game I would play a little bit of. So that would be cool. Like if I can just do things for my house and collect stuff for my house and decorate my house, like I don't know, that's not like a lot. It could be something to kill a few hours a week with, you know. So yeah, like best part was TBC. I like the remasters of Warcraft 1 and 2. I'm definitely gonna play through those in a recorded series just to see the original campaigns. So I think that's really cool. I'm gonna do that. Obviously, like 21st, we're gonna jump into the fresh start servers. And yeah, I wonder what the timeline is on like how fast they're gonna release content for that. Like when are we looking at being in the Burning Crusade? Are we gonna be in TBC in 6 months, in 8 months, in 12 months? I wonder if they're gonna put out like a roadmap that that kind of covers how they're gonna progress like through those phases, because that would be helpful information to know. So are we getting TBC hardcore? Yes and no. They said they were releasing fresh server types of all of the servers, including fresh hardcore, and then they said all of the servers were going to progress through the patches. And they said that eventually it's going to roll into TBC. So if all of the servers are going to go through the patches, including the hardcore servers, and then eventually you would be in TBC. That's how I interpreted it. You know, they said there was going to be fresh servers of all of the server types. And then they said that it was going to progress through the patch content and all the releases. So I'm assuming that's going to apply to the hardcore realms as well. That's what I have to assume. Did anybody else interpret that any differently? Because that's what I got out of it. That's how I read it. So there's going to be more versions of WoW to play. Not more versions, not at first. There's going to be fresh start servers, so there's going to be fresh PvE, fresh PvP, fresh hardcore, fresh vanilla servers, and then they're gonna roll up into TBC eventually. By the time they roll up into TBC, then yeah, technically there would be more ways to play, because now you can play in the TBC era on these new fresh start servers. It was worth the pain of watching for the first 30 minutes. Yeah, it was. It was pretty painful at times. But yeah, inevitably it was worth it. From TBC to Wrath, maybe. Yeah, the roadmap they showed ended at TBC. But yeah, who's to say that they don't? Apparently they said they spend time on the internet, so who's to say they won't eventually roll it up into Wrath of the Lich King? And I'm assuming that if they're going to do progression servers, including hardcore servers, that they're not going to push it into Cataclysm. We're currently in Cataclysm. We're about to leave Cataclysm and go to MOP, I guess, on those servers. But I have to assume that they're not going to push the new realms all the way through to Cataclysm. But maybe they will. Who knows what they'll do? You know what I mean? Maybe they will treat it like a progression server. Like who knows how far they'll go with it? Who knows how far they will go with it? I don't know. I wonder if they're publishing like any of this news to where we can kind of look at the decks and see like the, you know, how they flashed some of the timelines and stuff like that. I wonder if Wowhead is capturing like some of that stuff. And if we'll be able to look at the timelines they put out and stuff like that. Let's see. Yeah, they do have the timelines. So like, let's have a look at this. One sec. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so yeah. All right, so this doesn't really like, it doesn't list all of the like server types. And it also doesn't have any kind of like timeline. So like we don't know what the timeline is, but yeah, they're gonna run through each of the phases. Do we know how fresh servers and server clusters work? No, we don't. We don't know anything yet. I'm going to assume that at least to start, that the servers won't be clustered together. They said they're going to release a new server for each type. So I'm assuming it'll be like one PvE server, one PvP, one hardcore. And so in that case, I don't think they would be clustered. You can't really do a fresh start and cluster together with existing realms. And there's not going to be a bunch of new realms. So I'm assuming they're not going to be clustered together with anything. Okay, so November 21st. Here we go. It will include PvP, PvE, and new hardcore servers. That's how it's starting. Now the real question is, like, if I die on the new hardcore server, can I transfer myself to the new PvE server? Like, that's the real question. If I roll on the hardcore server and die, do I continue on the normal PvE? That would be a good thing to know. Blizzard has emphasized that these realms will release new content at the same cadence. So all of the realms will be releasing the content at the same cadence. Players can expect to play on very large realms. Blizzard also teased that these servers will continue to progress all the way through the Burning Crusade. The prior page, it didn't seem like it was a date. Oh no, yeah. Okay, I didn't see the top bar. Yeah, like not a date, but okay, they had like a time frame. So this is like a year. You know, we're not going to be talking about TBC. We're going to have an entire year of vanilla era. Yeah, the hardcore will go to TBC as well. They said all of the new realms will release content at the same cadence. So all of the realms that they start up on the 21st, all of them will be going through these phases at the same time, leading into Burning Crusade. 2 months for each phase. Hardcore should stay on era only. There's a lot of people that would disagree with that. A lot of people will be happy that when hardcore rolls up to Burning Crusade. Yeah, I think a lot of people will be happy. There's a lot of people that want to like do hardcore but like in TBC, and it still looks like they're gonna have to wait a year to do that. So, you know. Well, are they going to rush TBC? Well, we don't know. Whether or not they rush TBC depends on how long we get TBC, which depends on if we're going to go into Wrath of the Lich King or if it's going to stop at TBC. It would be nice if they stop at TBC, because then we have persistent TBC era servers. And then maybe next year, they fire up some servers, and they let those servers run all the way to Wrath of the Lich King. And then at the end of that, we have era servers, TBC servers, and Lich King servers. Like, that would be a good way to do it. I think if we get to Burning Crusade, and Burning Crusade eventually becomes Wrath again, and people don't have a way to play TBC again, I think that'll really piss a lot of people off. You know? So I think it'd be a good idea to get to TBC, to leave these realms at TBC, and then to later do another progression fresh start where we go to Wrath of the Lich King, like maybe in a couple years. In a couple years from now, we do it again, and this time we go to Lich King, and then we keep those as Lich King era servers. That would be like a long-term plan. Yeah, TBC Hardcore would be a whole new experience. Yeah, and we're still gonna have to wait like a year for that. And so, damn, I mean, it's interesting because, you know, they're doing Hardcore fresh, everything's fresh. I think I'm gonna focus on just playing on the PvE realm at least until we get a character to 60. I think that's like the responsible thing to do. I think that's the thing I'm gonna do first. I'm gonna try to get a character to 60 on the PvE realm. Yeah. And then, like, I think that's the best way to approach it. As much as I'd love to also play hardcore, like maybe there will be, maybe I'll just keep hardcore going maybe in the recorded series. Unless we get confirmation that we can start on the new hardcore, and then when we die, we transfer them to the fresh start era. Then I'll start a character on hardcore, and when that character dies, we just keep playing it on the era server. Like, I wouldn't mind doing that. I wouldn't mind starting off on hardcore and getting as far as we can until we die, then going to the PvE realm and finishing the journey on the PvE realm before we roll anything else. 1 to 60 is a couple months. I mean, we did it on the Paladin, and it was like 250 hours. Something like that. I don't really know how long it took me. Let's go check his slash played. We can check, but it took us like what? It took us like a month and a half of like streaming every day on the Paladin to get from 1 to 60. I feel like it was at least a month, maybe a little bit longer. But that was with me playing, like I was able to play like 4 or 5 hours a day, which was like, you know, quite a bit. Let's see what the slash played is here. 8 days and 20 hours. 8 days, 20 hours. Oh, that's not bad. 212, 213 hours. So yeah, only 200 hours. But yeah, I think I'm really just gonna focus on getting a character. I think I'm just gonna play on the Era Realm. I wanna play on the Era Realm. I think because I'd like to get a guild going on the PvE realm. And so I think I'm just gonna focus on straight up PvE realm. At least until we get a character to 60. When I get a character to 60, then maybe we can roll something in the hardcore realm, like. It's, what are we wearing? This is a max level pro armor, yeah. The best protection gold can buy. So yeah, it's interesting though, because like that still splits people. Like you're gonna split people from like people who just want to play hardcore, to people who just want to play era, to people that are really looking forward to TBC. Like those people are probably gonna have to focus on just the regular era realms. Because obviously, like, on a hardcore realm, like, you might never see TBC content. Looks like they will add LFG into Classic. What does that mean? Where are we seeing that? Yeah, max the main character for TBC, then worry about hardcore. I think that's the best. She looks like she's on her honeymoon. She's in her graduated to level 60 phase, so she's semi-retired now. She just hangs out in her Stormwind City apartment and catches up on her reading list. That's all she does. And then, like, the thing is, so for me though, like, I'm gonna level a character to 60. The character that I leveled to 60 in vanilla phase, like, might not even end up being my main once TBC comes out. That's kind of the frustrating thing about the progression server aspect of it, and the fact that, like, ideally I see myself on a blood elf. Maybe I'll just race change. Do you think they'll have race change in the shop? You can race change in Classic Era, can't you? Like, maybe I would just race change. Maybe that would be okay. Oh, there's currently no race change option. So you'd think that that'd be an option. Yeah, I don't know. You think they'll add it? Blizzard posted on forums with the quality of life improvements. Okay, I haven't seen any of this quality of life stuff. What are we looking at here? Where's like the blue tracker? I wanna see like where you guys are seeing the summoning stones information. Like where are we seeing that at? Realm size and rule sets. Nowadays, an individual WoW Classic realm can hold many more players at a single time than ever before. For our new fresh anniversary realms, we're limiting the total number of realms to choose from at launch to only one of each rule set. This will give both new and returning players the confidence in selecting a realm with a rule set of their choosing, knowing that it will be a healthy and sustainable. We may choose to open additional realms for a given rule set if needed to address player demand, but it's our intention to limit the total number of realms to as few as possible. We launched November 21st at 2 p.m. PST, 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock my time. Right at dinner time. How kind of them. Just put it out right at dinner time. We expect some queuing. A Burning Crusade Classic. We're particularly excited to reveal that normal PvE... Oh shit, guys. Here you go. See, we interpreted it wrong. We were wrong. Only normal PvE and PvP realms will progress to TBC. We still won't be able to play TBC Hardcore. There will still never be a TBC Hardcore. Yeah, only normal PvE and PvP fresh anniversary realms will progress to Burning Crusade Classic after we progress through the Classic Era content phases. So that's it. Yeah, no hardcore. No TBC Hardcore. On our new Hardcore anniversary realms will not be progressing to TBC Classic. Hardcore has always been focused on the 1 to 60 journey, made truly viable and approachable thanks to Classic's original mechanics and difficulty. That's not going to make a lot of people happy. Burning Crusade brings with it a level of challenge and randomness that we feel doesn't fit Hardcore. Are they just pulling reasons out of their ass? Hardcore has always been focused on the 1 to 60 journey, made truly viable and approachable thanks to Classic's original mechanics and difficulty. In Classic Era, like, you're intended to get killed all the fucking time. Like, the game is literally made to kill you. In TBC, among other things, they removed elites from the world, so you'd think that would be one thing that would make it more approachable from a hardcore sense. I think they just pulled some words out of their ass for this one. Like, these reasons don't really make sense. Burning Crusade brings with it a level of challenge and randomness. I will go ahead and say that combat is longer and probably more challenging in Classic Era than it was in TBC. Classes got a little bit more powerful in TBC. Elites were taken out of the world in TBC. Group quests became solo quests in TBC. I would go ahead and say this is totally wrong, and that TBC had a little bit less challenge and randomness than Classic Era. Yeah, I feel like they're just pulling out bullshit reasons here that don't really make sense. Hashtag no changes and hashtag changes philosophy at launch. With WoW Classic Anniversary Realms, our goal is to preserve the spirit of what makes Classic WoW special. While we're not strictly following a no changes policy for these realms, our intention is to closely mirror the classic vanilla experience with minimal deviation from the 2019 version. I gotta turn my volume down a little bit. Since the launch of WoW Classic, changes have occurred for reasons primarily focused on game health and game cohesion. These changes have included reporting system improvements, dethroning system for transferring guild leadership, and additional chrono boon displacer. Okay. On our anniversary rooms, these changes will be in from the start. User interface and looking for group. Okay. In WoW Classic, players have often used a variety of out-of-game tool methods to come to group with other players, like LFG Bulletin Board, like how we have to use LFG Bulletin Board. Given the limited number of anniversary realms per region, we expect all realms to have high populations. Although we applaud players' ingenuity to create tools outside the game to ease social connection, we recognize that not having similar functionality in the game itself has been a missed opportunity. Oh my god. They're admitting that it needs some kind of group finder built in. To support group play, we're introducing a looking for group tool, which will allow players to create, join, and browse parties manually, like the TBC group finder. So it's not automated. You just mark yourself as wanting to do an activity, and then people can find you, or you can find a group. We're also adding a service chat channel that players can enable specifically for advertising services like portal summons, tribute buffs. All such, okay, that's advertising. For those who enjoy the look and feel of classic guild UI, we've implemented an option for that. Okay. So that's cool, like some kind of LFG. No one wants LFG. I want LFG. Who here wants some kind of LFG? And when I say LFG, I'm not talking about an automated group finder that puts you into a group and teleports you to the dungeon. I'm talking about a place to list yourself, like in TBC, where you could go in, you could say, I'm interested in Hellfire Peninsula, and you could list yourself, and then another person could pull up the tool, they could look, Hellfire Peninsula, and they would see you listed as DPS for Hellfire Peninsula, and they would invite you. That's the group finder I'm talking about. That's the group finder they're talking about. People do want that group finder. People will use it. It is a great tool that's only beneficial for the community. Yeah. So yeah, like the automated tool, like no, nobody wants to be automatically popped into a group and teleported to the dungeon in Classic era. What we do want is a tool to use to find groups and list ourselves as interested for groups, so we don't have to constantly spam and use LFG Bulletin Board like everybody has to use now in order to find groups. And then we want the summoning stones to work so that when two people get to the stone, they can summon everybody else. Like that's all anybody wants. That's all anybody wants. We want the summoning stones to work, and we want a place to list ourselves as interested for content. And they didn't talk about summoning stones, so like those probably still won't be turned on. Because yeah, we didn't talk about summoning stones. Hardcore rules of progression. For the first time ever, new anniversary hardcore realms will progress through the classic era phases. This means that when multi-core unlocks... Yeah, I don't know if we care about any of this. We'll expect all else to remain the same. Paladins will not be able to bubble hearth. Shaman's reincarnation and Warlock Soulstone don't work. So it's going to be the same for the hardcore, except they're going to progress through the phases. Character transfers. On these new anniversary realms, character transfers will be unavailable, except for transfers to a normal realm for hardcore characters. Normal realm characters must remain on normal realms. PvP realm characters will be locked to PvP realms. On hardcore realms, should players wish to transfer either dead or living characters to a normal realm, they will be able to do so. Okay. A GDKP policy. In line with our policy enacted on Season of Discovery realms in NA and EU, we will not allow Gold Dragon kill point runs, GDKP, in anniversary realms in the NA and EU regions. They're banning GDKP on these fresh start realms. And like I don't mind GDKP, but I guess like when you don't have GDKP in Classic, there's not as big of a need for gold. And if there's not as big of a need for gold, people are less likely to resort to real money transactions to get gold. And if people are less likely to resort to real money transactions, that means there will be less demand for botting. So I like them not allowing GDKP simply because I feel like it's a way to cut down on botting. It's a way to cut down on RMT. So I feel like for that it's good. GDKP is you're bidding on items for gold. So like you have gold, an item drops in the raid you're in, and the item bidding starts at 300 gold. and you bid on the item, and whoever bids the highest wins the item. You pay the gold to the raid. At the end of the raid, people who didn't get items will get a share of the money collected from the bids. And then, of course, the organizer takes a cut of the gold as well for organizing the run. So yeah, that's good. No GDKP. Okay, fine. While we understand that there are some benefits for those who find this a convenient way to gain gear, we also recognize that there are concerns surrounding GDKP eroding traditional guild and social structures that are part of the spirit of the game. Player feedback in the Season of Discovery Realms, NA and EU, has largely been positive about this change, and it aligns with our internal findings. And that's it. The PvP balance, enforced faction balance. That's where they don't let you make a character. So like if you go onto the PvP realm and right now it's 80% alliance, and they're not going to let you make an alliance character. Like they're going to lock, that's what they did before. They kind of locked character creation. When they did Season of Discovery PvP realms, they ended up locking character creation for like whatever faction was like overpoweringly the majority. So yeah, that's all the details, all the nitty-gritty. Anything else? Classic roadmaps. I think this is what we already saw. So here's an interesting time frame. This is actually later than we thought. Oh, right here, right? Like spring. No, that's about right. But I don't think it's launching in spring. It looks like it doesn't launch until autumn. This is actually much later for Mist of Pandaria than I thought. Like, I was pretty convinced that we were going to see Mist of Pandaria launch in the spring. But it looks like Pandaria is not even getting the pre-patch till summer, and no one will be playing Pandaria properly until autumn. That's probably better than pushing it out like super fast. Is there classic TBC? There's not classic TBC yet. They're phasing it in. So there's new classic Arrow Realms. They're gonna go through the phases, and eventually in winter or spring of next year, they will flip into the Burning Crusade era. Yeah, 8 days to get your other WoW stuff and get your business in order. All right, get your business in order, because we have 8 days. And then it looks like Season of Discovery, thank God, ends. It's gonna end eventually. Maybe. They keep saying new endgame content, but yeah, Season of Discovery looks like it ends sometime around spring. Oh, it's gonna be good. They didn't even give you time to submit 2 weeks notice to work. Right. No, you want time off? You're gonna have to take unapproved time off. UTO, unapproved time off. Will I do any raids? I will raid. There's a much bigger chance of raiding in TBC, but we will try to be focused on actually doing content. I would like to have a guild. I would like to go through the phases, and I would like to try to see content. Yeah, this is the time. If I'm ever gonna see like these raids in classic setting, like this is the time to do it. There's not gonna be a better time. You're quitting work. You're like, no, I'm not. I'm not trying to take time off. I'm trying to quit. Devoting my life to fresh start before TBC. Right. Fair enough. Yeah. We're going Horde side because eventually I want to be able to play a Blood Elf. So we're gonna go Horde side for the fresh start. So that I can play a Blood Elf one day, or maybe I'll just, if I can, I'm just gonna race change. If I can't race change, then I'll just have to roll. I'll have to roll one up. It's not. No, it's not SOD TBC. No. This has nothing to do with SOD. SOD is down here. SOD here. Let me make it a little. We got all kinds of ads that need to go away. SOD is down here. The fresh start servers are right here. These are regular servers. They go through the phases, and then Cataclysm's up here. Yeah, no. SOD looks like it's going to end by spring or summer. SOD's going to be over. Yeah, and it's not fresh start TBC. It's we're starting in vanilla era. They're gonna release each patch like in cadence. So Molten Core, Dire Maul, Blackwing Lair. They're gonna release all the phases. By winter or spring of next year, we will be going into Burning Crusade. So we're gonna have a year with the vanilla, and then we're gonna get into TBC. So yeah, very, very exciting. Are we losing our vanillas? No. These are going to be new realms. No one's losing anything. All of the current Classic Era realms are going to stay Classic Era. The only realms that are going to ever go to TBC are going to be the new realms they open up on the 21st. On the 21st, they're opening up a PvE, a PvP, and a Hardcore. The PvE and PvP realms will eventually go to TBC. The Hardcore Fresh Start will never go to TBC, but it will go through the phase releases in the same cadence with the other servers. But if you're on a current Classic Era server, nothing's happening to those servers, like Mankrik, Whitemane, the current Hardcore realms, like nothing's changing with those. These are going to be 3 new servers per region that open up on the 21st. Which means Classic Wrath Classic? We don't know. It's very possible that we will spend a year in TBC and maybe they will eventually roll these up to Wrath of the Lich King. We don't know. You think the existing era servers will be ghost towns? Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I think that for a little while they will. You know, it'll be interesting. The day after Fresh Start, we will check out Whitemane and we'll check out Mankrik. And we'll check them out and see the day after the Fresh Start happens. We'll pop onto those existing era realms and see if they're ghost towns. Because I think for a while it's very likely that they will be. Like, they might not stay that way. People have a lot invested on those realms. But at first, you know, they might be. Hardcore or vanilla, you can't pick. Yeah. The thing is, if you, I'm pretty sure they're gonna let you transfer to the PvE realm or whatever. Like, if you die in hardcore, you'll be able to take the character, hopefully, into one of the new progression realms, right? It'd be a bummer if you do the Fresh Start hardcore, and they only let you transfer that character to the old era realms. Like, that would be a bummer. I'm hoping that hardcore characters can go from the hardcore realm to the new progression realms. That would be ideal. Except, like, how would they handle that after the progression realms go to TBC? That's what kind of worries me. I'm just going to focus on leveling up on the PvE realm. I'm not going to worry about hardcore a lot until we get a character to level 60. And then we might be focused on raids. So we'll just kind of play it by ear. We'll just kind of play it by ear. But I'm not going to focus, when this launches, I'm not going to focus on the hardcore aspect. I'm going to focus on fully leveling a character, fully leveling professions, fully leveling my cooking, like having everything maxed out. Doing everything I can, making sure that I can get my epic mount at 60. Like, I'm just gonna focus on a character, and that's it. I don't want to worry about the hardcore aspect for a fresh start. Not with the way they're doing it. How eventually we're gonna get to take it into TBC. The PvP realms will be a gangfest. Yeah, we're going on PvE. PvE. Have I decided on which class? Absolutely not. No, I don't know. Maybe a warrior, you know. very likely a warrior. Especially when I don't have to worry about hardcore, but we'll see. Yeah, I'm probably a warrior though. It's kind of the best class, so. And then if I play a warrior, I can't race change. Because in TBC, paladins can't be warriors. So when we get blood elves, then I'll probably roll up a blood elf paladin. I'll probably go with my typical like warrior first, then paladin. Same thing that I did with Cataclysm. You know, we got the warrior maxed out, then we got the paladin maxed out, and we're going horde side. So I think the warrior, I'll probably do an orc. Yeah, we're going horde side because I want to be able to play blood elves eventually. Yeah, female orc warrior, absolutely. Really good weapon animations, like really good weapon swings. Like they have some of the best weapon animations for like a two-hander. So yeah, we'll be going a female orc warrior. Yep. Guys, I think that's it. I think that's like basically like plan in place. That's basically plan in place. Now, like, this is kind of like, it's not the greatest timing for me. Like, starting at the end of this month, like, it's not the greatest timing for me. As you guys know, who've been around, like, a lot, like, my streaming schedule has not been, like, super consistent recently. And so probably what's going to happen with this is, like, I'm going to be playing at, like, different times. There will be days when I can get on at the normal time. And there will be days when I can get on from like 1 to 5 or like noon to 5. But throughout December, probably into the first couple of weeks of December, like there are going to be times when I get on super early and play. Because that's the time I have. There are going to be times when I'm on pretty late and I'm playing because that's the time I have. So I'm going to try to play as much as I can. Because I'm super hyped for this, but it's gonna necessitate that I sometimes play at like off times, like really strange times for me. There might be times when I play at 8 o'clock in the morning my time until like noon. There might be times when I play at 6 o'clock in the evening my time until like 9 or 10 o'clock in the evening my time. I'll just have to play it by ear, and I'll try to be on as much as I can. And yeah, for that reason I'm going US because I'm gonna be like kind of all over the place with like what time I get to play, because like some of the times it's gonna have to be in the evening, like because of our schedule here at home. I think I'll go on US, and I'll save Cataclysm for the EU. I'm gonna continue my Cataclysm playthrough on the EU, so my Cata characters and my MOP characters will be on the EU realms, and for Classic Era I'm gonna stay on the US realms. I think that's how I'm gonna handle it. Yep, I think that's it. Yeah, I have a separate account for the EU. Yeah, I'm paying those 2 subs. Multi-subs. Yeah, so they said 2 o'clock Blizzard time on the 21st, 2, 3, so like it'll be 5 p.m. my time. It's right at dinner time my time. I'm probably gonna be like an hour late to launch night because 5 o'clock's a rough time for anything to start. That's like dinner time in my house, and right now I'm the one who's making dinners. Maybe I'll make an early dinner that day. Maybe we'll have supper. We'll have supper at 4 o'clock, and then I'll be ready to get on around 5. It's an awful launch time for most people. It's really, really bad. You know who it's good for? Like maybe somebody who lives in California. Like 2 o'clock in the afternoon's not bad. But if you live in the Eastern time zone, that's dinner time. If you live in the Central time zone, that's getting close to your end of work day. Like, it would be nice if it was an hour later. An hour later would be really good. If it was 3 o'clock Pacific time, it'd be 6 p.m. my time. 6 p.m. my time would work a lot better. I'm gonna send them an email. Maybe they'll bump it back by an hour. You always spend launch day on a login screen? I don't. Man, I've spent every launch night playing the game. I don't think we've had a single launch night or a single launch day where I've streamed and haven't been able to just play a bunch. Now, sometimes mobs are farmed out and you spend a lot of time in one area, but I have not. We've been through quite a few launch nights together, and I haven't had one that was so foobar that we couldn't get on and play. Like, I don't even know if we've ever had to wait in much of a queue. I think we've always been able just to get on and play. So I'm not worried about that. That's old Blizz. Like they've had their launches like pretty good. At least here in the US, like I haven't had a point where like a launch has happened and I've been stuck in queue. Like it hasn't happened to me. But we'll see. We'll see. There was the rainy launch night, the launch night of official hardcore. I remember that rainy launch night. I'm saying, what am I? TBC and Wrath had 10k queues. What do you mean? What I mean is what I said. The servers that I chose to play on, when I chose to play on those launch nights, I did not sit in a queue. You might have sat in a queue. You might have had a different experience because you are a different person. You might be living in a different place, and you might have been playing on a different realm. But what I'm saying is I've never sat in a queue like that. The last time I sat in a queue like that was like fucking original Cataclysm launch back in 2010. Was the last time. I remember having to have my roommate like log me in on the way home from work. I'd be coming home from work, I'd call him, hey, can you log me in? Get me in the queue so when I get home I can play. That was the last time that I remember sitting in a queue. That was like around that level of like 10k. Was fucking 2010. So that's what I'm saying. Now you might have had a different experience, but that's okay. I can literally pull up launch nights that I've streamed, and we can see, like, you know, there wasn't a 10,000 queue. Yeah, it's not like, yeah, and like I don't count a queue when I get in. It's like, oh, you have a queue, and then 10 seconds later I'm playing the game. Like, that's not a queue. When I say I haven't waited in queue, I mean I have not spent any substantial time waiting in queue, and I don't expect this to be any different. Let's see. Anything else? Anything else that we missed? Anything else that we didn't talk about? I think that's everything. I think that's everything. Guys, that's it. We have 8 days. 8 days to get ready for the freshest of fresh starts. They said they would spin up servers if there was more demand. Yeah, they said they'd spin up more. We're gonna go on the first servers they put up, and we're gonna stick on those servers because those are gonna be where everyone lands. The most populated servers at the end of the day, weeks later, months later, years later, are gonna be the first servers that go up. And so even if there is a little bit of a queue at times, we're gonna play on like the first PvE server that goes up, and we're gonna stick with that. And that's gonna work best. What to play until November 21st? Yeah, like what to do now? I'll just keep working on hardcore characters, you know? Like I'm still gonna, like, whenever I can get on and stream, we'll stream the hardcore mage. There's no real prep work we can do, you know? For a lot of people, I'd say like probably maybe a good time to like just take a break for a few days and like chill. I'm not gonna do that, but I would say like if I didn't make content, maybe I'd take a little time off. Yeah, there you go. Warcraft Battle. You know what? Like, yeah, Warcraft Battle Chest. Like, part of me wants to do a recorded, part of me wants to stream it, part of me wants to do both those things. We could stream it. In 8 days, like, maybe we could beat the campaign of 1 and 2 in 8 days. I'm not sure like how long the campaigns are for Warcraft 1 and 2. I don't think I ever played Warcraft 1. Warcraft 2, me and my buddies played on like a PlayStation 1 back in the day. And I don't remember how long the campaign was. All I remember is that gold is good. That gold is good. Greed is good? Or gold is good? I remember some of the cheat codes. Get your Mountain Dew and Cheetos ready. Yeah, maybe we play the Warcraft Battle Chest for the next 8 days. We'll see. All right, guys, I'm gonna call it right here. I am gonna sign off. I am gonna go have some lunch. So the plan is, and we'll talk about this more as we get closer, but right now the plan is on the 21st, we're going Horde side. We're going on US PvE, so whatever PvE realm they put up, That's what we'll be doing on the Horde side. And we will be putting a guild together as soon as we can. And we will be focusing on just getting to 60, getting geared up, having a good time, doing dungeons, and eventually we're going to do raids. So that is the plan for now. Thank you guys very much for being here and for watching everything with me and having a talk. I really appreciate it. It's been a good time. I will try to formulate a plan for like what we're going to do with the streams going forward. We can keep doing the hardcore mage. We could play some Warcraft battle chest. Maybe I'll put up a poll and see like what people would prefer to see over the next week or so. But yeah, until then guys, take care of yourselves out there, take care of each other, and we will see you back in Azeroth again very soon. Bye for now.